Welcome back to our journey through the history of the English monarchy. Last time we navigated the turmoil following the Norman conquest. Today we witness the dawn of a new, powerful dynasty that would shape England for over 250 years. In 1154, a new royal family rose to power, the Plantagenets. From the formidable Henry II to the ill-fated Richard II, they guided England through centuries of growth, reform, and remarkable change, leaving a legacy that still echoes today. So, who were the Plantagenets? The name itself comes from the broom flower, the Plantagenista, a sprig of which Henry I's father, Geoffrey of Anjou, famously wore in his hat. This vibrant emblem was a fitting symbol for a dynasty that would bring so much energy and transformation to the kingdom. Our story begins with Henry II, a man of immense ambition and administrative genius. When he ascended the throne, England was still recovering from a period of civil war known as the Anarchy. The country was fractured and royal authority was weak. Henry's first and most crucial task was to restore order. He didn't just rebuild the kingdom, he fundamentally reshaped it. He strengthened the power of the crown and, most importantly, laid the groundwork for a system of common law that would apply to everyone in the land. Think about that for a moment. The idea that justice isn't arbitrary but based on precedent and established principles. Many of those concepts still influence our legal systems today. Henry's reforms created a more stable and predictable society. But Henry's influence wasn't confined to England. Through his marriage to the brilliant and powerful Eleanor of Aquitaine, he controlled a vast territory stretching from the borders of Scotland all the way to the Pyrenees Mountains in modern-day Spain. This Angevin empire made Henry one of the most powerful rulers in Europe. However, his reign was not without its shadows. His infamous conflict with Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, culminated in Becket's murder in his own cathedral. This tragic event sent shockwaves across Christendom and served as a stark reminder of the delicate and often dangerous balance between the power of the state and the authority of the Church. Upon Henry's death, the crown passed to his most famous son, Richard I, better known as the Lionheart. Richard's reputation is built on his image as a chivalrous warrior and a crusading king. He was a brilliant military strategist and his courage on the battlefield was legendary. He spent the majority of his 10-year reign outside of England, leading the Third Crusade in the Holy Land. Though he was often away, his heroic exploits inspired immense loyalty and pride back home. People saw him as the epitome of a Christian knight. His later years were marked by hardship, including being captured and held for a massive ransom on his way back from the crusade. Yet, despite his long absences, his name remains a powerful symbol of bravery and leadership. Richard's successor was his younger brother, John. Now, King John often gets a bad rap in history, and let's be honest, much of it was earned. He lost significant territories in France, earning him the nickname John Softsword, and his heavy-handed taxes and disputes with the barons made him deeply unpopular. He faced challenges from every direction. But it's this very pressure that led to one of the most important moments in Western history. In 1215, at a field called Runnymede, the disgruntled barons forced John to approve a document, the Magna Carta or Great Charter. This revolutionary charter established for the first time that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law. It was a monumental step, a foundational stone for the principles of liberty and justice that would shape governments for centuries to come. So, while John's reign was troubled, it unintentionally gave birth to a legacy of freedom. Following John was his son, Henry III, whose long reign was a stark contrast to his father's. Henry was not a warrior king. He was a man of deep faith and a passionate patron of the arts. His greatest contribution to England's landscape is the magnificent rebuilding of Westminster Abbey into the Gothic masterpiece we see today. It was designed to be a shrine for the Saxon king, Edward the Confessor, and a glorious statement of royal piety. But Henry's reign was also significant for another reason. During his time, the tradition of calling together representatives from across the country to advise the king began to take a more formal shape. These gatherings, or parliaments, were an early step towards the representative government that defines England today. Next came Edward I, a king who combined military prowess with a genius for organization, known as Longshanks for his towering height. Edward was a formidable ruler who sought to strengthen the kingdom through law and administration. He conquered Wales, building a ring of incredible castles to secure his rule, and made a determined effort to assert his authority over Scotland. Internally, he refined the legal system and improved governance, creating a more unified and centrally controlled kingdom. Edward's reign was about establishing order, creating a system that worked, and ensuring the writ of the king ran through every corner of the realm. His son, Edward II, unfortunately, did not share his father's strengths. His reign was marked by conflict and instability. He favored certain nobles, which caused widespread resentment among the others, and his leadership was constantly questioned. His military campaigns were unsuccessful, most famously at the Battle of Bannockburn against the Scots. Ultimately, the opposition against him grew so strong that he was forced to abdicate the throne, a rare and shocking event for the time. It was a difficult and tragic chapter for the Plantagenet dynasty, but the crown was restored to glory under his son, Edward III. Edward brought back a sense of confidence and national pride. He cultivated the image of a chivalric king, founding the prestigious Order of the Garter and promoting tournaments and courtly values. His long reign saw the beginning of the Hundred Years' War with France, a conflict that, despite its immense cost, helped forge a stronger sense of English national identity. Trade and commerce flourished, and crucially, the English language began to replace French as the language of the court and government. However, this era of growth was overshadowed by a catastrophe, the Black Death. This devastating plague wiped out a huge portion of the population, but in its wake it triggered profound social changes, shifting power from the landowners to the laborers who survived. The final Plantagenet king was Richard II, who came to the throne. As a young boy, his early reign was tested by the peasants' revolt, a massive popular uprising demanding fairness and an end to serfdom. The young king showed remarkable courage in confronting the rebels directly. However, as he grew older, his rule became more autocratic and unpredictable. He clashed with his powerful nobles, and his leadership style created deep divisions. Eventually, he was overthrown by his cousin, Henry Bolingbroke, who would become King Henry IV. This act of usurpation brought the direct line of the Plantagenets to an end and set the stage for a new royal house, the Lancasters. From law and language to castles and cathedrals, the Plantagenet era left an indelible mark on the soul of England. They laid the foundations for Parliament, the common law, and a distinct national identity. But the end of their direct line was not the end of their family's story. The seeds of conflict sown by Richard II's downfall would soon blossom into a bitter and bloody rivalry within the royal family itself. Join us next time as two branches of the Plantagenet tree, the houses of Lancaster and York, fight for the throne in the epic conflict known as the Wars of the Roses. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next chapter. We'll see you then.